All right, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're kind of just talking about San Diego Comic-Con.
I think it's the big subject right now,
Yeah.
like when it comes down to it. But NerdPoint shows back. San Diego Comic Con. Hopes, theories. I think
Questions?
questions.
Big questions.
Yeah. We're getting a little energy right now.
Yeah, energy.
Still don't know what these flakes are.
I don't either, but I'm fine with it. It's whatever at this point. Looks like gold flakes. Doesn't matter.
That uptime.
But first, let's do shoutouts.
Yeah.
Our last video got more views than most of our others. We were pretty happy about it, and especially in like a 2-day period of time. On that video, though, just big shout out to David Wilkins. He agreed with a fun point we made about in the Joker movie, we probably shouldn't establish Joker before Batman as a character. Like, Batman should be pre-existing. He agreed with that. Super cool. Thanks for being part of the conversation there. And then on comicbookmovie.com, we had a little post. And there were a couple comments. The only one that really stuck out as, like, being a part of the conversation we wanted to create was from Cass808. Was brought up an interesting point, which we didn't even bring up, which was kind of hoping for the movie to be more gothic, like
Instead of noir.
Yeah, like she didn't say instead of noir. It just was more like it brought up the idea of like got the cool steampunk vibe from the Tim Burton movies.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Dark Knight trilogy was dark and gritty, but it wasn't gothic. So I like the idea of bringing up some kind of gothic setting, and I think Tim Burton had some gothic aspects, but noir mixed with gothic would be it'd be interesting.
I definitely think that's a great point, and I just say keep shouting out, guys. We'll give you shout outs and continue the conversation.
Thank you for being a part of it. It was definitely fun, like seeing what other people have to think about what we have to say or what we might have missed,
So let us know in the comments this time what you think about San Diego Comic-Con, hopes and theories, and questions.
Yeah.
Aquaman. Let's
just jump into it.
We know the trailer's coming.
Trailer's got to be coming. I mean, yeah, like I'm just hoping it gets released to the public soon. I'm not sure. I don't think it showed at Comic-Con already. It might have. I haven't been too great at keeping up with like day-to-day stuff, but I'm just really excited for when it does drop. I think it's going to be one of the better movies of the year.
I don't think it has.
I don't think it has, but
yeah, I think
we're just kind of waiting
probably
for it.
Saturday, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much other than that. We're just kind of waiting for the trailer. When's it going to drop, When does everybody get to see it?
I think we see it Saturday. I think they see it Friday. We see it Saturday. They've waited too long. Aquaman.
Yeah, honestly, this movie should have a trailer already. What is going on outside?
Fires, man. That's Spokane Valley.
Yeah, I guess it's dry out.
But I've heard the trench is like the coolest and most horrifying part of this whole movie.
The film.
Yeah,
the trench, like kind of probably where a lot of the big climactic parts of the movie might take place, or a lot of the like the internal struggle, like the rise in action of the film might take place.
Yeah, they're cannibalistic, like sea creatures,
Something.
like they evolved like unlike other ones, but.
Yep.
Then there's even these like mermaid creatures that I'm not familiar with.
Are you talking about the Lagoon Boys?
Maybe
his race. I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what they are. So Lagoon Boy is probably most commonly known from Young Justice, the TV show, which we're getting season 3. They haven't announced anything about that at Comic-Con, I don't think, but. Young Justice is where he's probably most known, and I would say that it's interesting seeing that race of a character. Like he's a fish boy, and seeing that get put onto the big screen is interesting. If you haven't seen the images, take a look.
I think it's better than Aqualad.
Like to introduce like that race.
No, like as a sidekick.
Oh, well, but we're not even on sidekicks yet. Sidekicks are way in the future for Aquaman. I think like. We can't even. They might tease at Lagoon Boy, but I think if they're gonna do a sidekick, they're gonna do Aqualad.
Yeah, I'm sure. I hope they get Mara to be like this badass water bitch during it. Though.
Well, it looks like she's gonna be. Like she saves his ass, he saves her ass. It's gonna be interesting to see that dynamic, like in what ways they can save each other. Like he's probably gonna save her while they're on land. She's probably gonna save his ass while they're in the ocean.
So last question I have for you though about Aquaman is how psyched are you about the comic accurate suit?
Yeah. So interesting thing is I have the images here. I wish maybe eventually we can find a way to get them up on the screen. But they're San Diego Comic-Con collectible statue and figure reveals.
Yeah.
And we see Jason Momoa. Obviously, it's him with his face and his beard, his long hair, his figure. It's him with the trident standing on a base of the movie logo, and he's in a comic accurate suit. And I'm so.
He's got the trident too.
I said that.
Oh.
It's okay. But yeah, he has a comic accurate suit. I'm really excited. I think it's something that everybody's been kind of waiting for since they announced it. Because you either see him in a non-comic accurate suit, still interesting suit, or you just kind of see him with like no shirt or like a tight shirt. Like it's not Aquaman to me. But like it's almost like an origin film.
Are you psyched about the Black Mana? I noticed
yes.
he changed it up to that one now.
Yeah.
So
that's a fun one. I am very excited about about the Black Manta suit. I think
it looks dope. Just Google.
Just look. If anything, just look up maybe we can put links in the description. Yeah. But definitely take a look at how the helmet is my favorite part.
Oh, dude!
It's accurate. It's not too ridiculous. It's shaped
modern.
Still, yeah, it doesn't look exactly like a football. It's shaped and it's curved, but it still looks like how you would imagine a screen accurate Black Manta suit.
Dude,
super cool.
Better have some rays, right?
Yeah, super cool.
But then
let's move on.
Yeah, I mean this is a good point. Like we're talking about costumes,
and visuals. You know,
I heard there's a little featurette coming to Wonder Woman 8. Or to Comic-Con for Wonder Woman 84, where we'll see a little bit, not too much, but we both saw the footage of Cheetah jumping up 2 stories. What do you think they're going to do for the costume?
So, I am big into costumes. I'm big into practical effects versus special effects, whether it's in costumes or explosions or whatever it is, or scarring, any kind of thing you have to alter in a film, and I love that. I think they're gonna mix practical and visual effects. So I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna do some like they're gonna probably change up her face shape with some prosthetics, or just they're probably gonna change up something like that. Probably give her like a type of suit, and then they're gonna alter it. They're gonna alter it with some special effects, some CGI, and it'll give it the full effect. Which seems really, really popular in like superhero movies lately. Like they did that for a lot of Black Panther. Actually, a lot of it was a mixture of special effects and an actual suit. Interesting.
I'm down with that. I think that what they're gonna end up doing is prosthetics, like some coloring.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna CGI in fur.
You think the fur is going to be CG?
Yeah.
I think they're going to do fur, like some fur already there, and then CGI it to alter it.
I don't want I don't want like a half one. Like I want old school Cheetah where she is totally like fur factored out.
Do you think that they're going to do, this is probably more where you're going to have a little more to say, is do you think they're going to do a progression of Cheetah where she's like kind of slowly becoming full, like what you would imagine as full Cheetah, or do you think she's just going to go straight into the transition? Like maybe half her face is more Cheetah, half her body, her hand for once, like...
Do you think it's like a Hulk thing?
Like it's when she's angry, or what?
Or like when she gets emotional? Or gets like stressed
I don't know.
out?
Let's focus on my question first.
But if it's like that, it could be like every time she changed, it could get progressively more, and she couldn't go back, and then by the end, she's just that way.
I mean...
It would be a fun it would be an arc for a good...
I don't know. I have no clue, to be honest. I don't know. That's why I asked, is I want to know how you think they're going to do it throughout the film. Like,
I think that
is it going to be a progression, or do you think it's going to... That's kind of the question, really. Is it going to be a progression, or do you think it's going to be a full transition immediately?
I think that it'll be a progression if she changes back and forth.
Okay, I could see that.
Like every time she gets too emotional and becomes the cheetah, then she gets more and more hairy, and it gets harder and harder for her not to be that.
It's almost like in spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp, almost like more like has this problem and is bad because of it, not so much like she's a true villain.
Because I don't think Cheetah's going to be the villain.
True. James has this long-lasting theory that Cheetah is not going to be the true villain. I only have issue with his wording of it because I think that there can be more than one villain. I don't think it makes him not the true villain. I think one can be the main villain of the movie, and then there's like someone pulling strings. I don't think that makes that person the true villain necessarily, but we pretty much agree.
I don't think Cheetah's going to be the ultimate villain.
Okay.
Like,
the only villain, maybe?
Big bad.
Okay, the big bad. That's fair.
Okay, I think it's Cersei's. Okay. I might...
Sure, go with it.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
But she has a whole thing where she can change people into animal-like creatures.
Right.
And I think that's how Cheetah's going to get her powers. And then she's going to not want to be like the cheetah. But then Cersei's is going to like hold this like antidote that doesn't exist.
Okay.
And then by the end, she's not going to help Cersei's out against Wonder Woman because she realizes there's no going back.
Okay.
And then she leaves, and it's showdown time. But the big, big, big bomb drop is I think it's Etta Candy. I think how she handled that sword in the first one was just too good.
Okay. Man, that's a mouthful.
I did it pretty well.
I know.
I thought I nailed it.
No. I'm not saying you didn't say it right. I'm just saying it was intense. I was like, oh God, there's more.
Can I write it? I'll write it.
Okay. Let's move on because we were talking about costumes.
We're smiling.
Yeah. Let's talk about Venom because there's stuff about Venom at San Diego Comic-Con. A couple different things I've heard. Some fun things, some like slightly disappointing things, some questionable things, some things that make you kind of wonder.
I'd agree.
You want to talk about the smile? We can just jump into that.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's perfect. Like the picture that was dropped.
So yeah, there's an image of Venom.
Entertainment Weekly
dropped an image of Venom pretty much from the neck up, maybe a little more like chin up.
Oh, I think of shoulders. You could see the white veins.
I think you could just kind of see like veins, like maybe just reflection.
We'll talk about those.
Yeah, I think that's actually just reflection. But yeah, you see Venom, full smile, teeth showing, no tongue, just kind of like eyes too. I've seen some cool edits of that where they edited it to look like a Spider-Man mask. Looks way better than actual Venom. I'd rather see that movie, but not the point. James doesn't like the smile as much. He thinks it should be a little smaller or something.
Just a little.
I like it.
It's better than Toby.
So here's the deal with...
It's better... Topher.
So here's the deal with that. I think because you remember in the trailer... Venom's head comes up around, much like it did in the animated series. It comes up around. I think the smile is probably, it moves. Like, it literally, like, closes up more, opens up more based on what's happening.
Because it's, like, wrapping.
Because it wraps. So, I don't know what that's doing.
It's probably running out of battery.
That could be it. Wonder if I can... Oh, well. We'll worry about it later. So I think that moves with it. I don't think it's always that, like, I don't think it always goes up that far, but if it does, I'm cool with it.
No, I'm cool with it. It looks better than what was going on in Spider-Man 3.
I would expect
it. But I just like a 1 inch. Just 1 inch down.
I think if you're complaining about 1 inch, why are you complaining? Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of women have that problem.
Okay.
Sorry.
With you? Walked into it. Okay, let's talk about this news. Supposedly, the spider logo is going to be on Venom's chest. I think it's almost confirmed. I don't know. I've just heard that. And I'm cool with it. I just want it to be... Like, some people don't want it because what's also been told is Spider-Man doesn't play any role at all in the film. He's not even referenced. He's not even a part of the universe necessarily. So they don't want the spider logo. Personally, regardless what Sony does, because Sony's really just kind of... Excuse me. Sony's just kind of fucking up the game at the moment. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure they'll make a good movie, but I don't think it'll be a great universe-building movie, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a Spider-Verse type movie, but with these villains and not so much the heroes, so they can eventually take hold of Spider-Man again, is what I've heard they're trying to do. But either way, I want them to give the Spider logo because of the accuracy. That's just my big deal with it. I want accuracy.
So, I thought that the little veins on the shoulders was like clear indications of like the legs going up. Like each one,
like it kind of spreads off.
Yeah, and spiders always kind of give off this like infection.
I want the classic logo
type like feel to me, like
sure.
Like infested. And what is Venom doing other than
it's
that?
It's a parasite, so it's infecting him. It kind of gets that vibe anyways. I mean, so what you're thinking is it's the spider logo and then veins that kind of come off.
Yeah.
I could see that. I think it's honestly just reflection. But it could go either way.
Why do you think the spider logo is there? If it's there, if Spider-Man isn't there?
That's a question I truly can't answer because they're really... If Spider-Man doesn't exist, then there's no point in having the spider logo, and that's kind of one reason why I want it, is there's a little hope. But at the same time, what I've heard is the reason Sony wants these movies to do well, like Mobius, which they've kind of announced.
I was going to ask about that at the end.
I don't even know if that's worth talking about. They want to do a Black Cat movie. They kind of want to do stuff like that, and they want to do that so if those movies do well, they can take claim to Spider-Man again and use the characters and properties from there. But I don't think it's going to do well because you can't really build that. You can't build the most important universe without the most important character.
Kind of like Gotham?
Yes and no. Like, it's where Gotham failed, but they still, like... if Peter Parker was around, it at least makes sense. Bruce Wayne's still around, so it's...
Yeah, but it's still not Batman.
I mean, it is, though. Like, you get an origin. At least in that, you get, like, an idea of where it's going and that he will show up. In this case, they're making it seem like Peter Parker doesn't even exist. And if Peter Parker doesn't exist, Spider-Man doesn't exist. If that doesn't exist, all these other villains don't exist. And I think that's the big flaw that they're gonna run into.
What if they don't even address it? It's just there.
Then it's gonna be a big plot hole.
But doesn't matter. Are you gonna? Would you come out of the theater and be upset about it?
I'll have thoughts on it. I won't necessarily be upset if they don't address it because they don't have to necessarily.
Like Venom's up there with Spider-Man, of just like you know who the fuck he is.
But you can't have Venom without Spider-Man. That's the only issue. That's the only question I would address is where they're going with that. But I'm not going to be upset. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. If it's not a good movie, then I'll have a problem. But it won't be related to that.
If Venom just takes over and he has the spider on his chest and there's no explanation other than that's the suit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you're good?
Yeah, whatever. They'll get to it. I mean, I'll have questions, but it's not like I can't just sit there and be like, well, I need them answered, and they'll answer, you know.
It's not going to ruin it
They'll either get to it or they won't. The big problem I have is when they ruin a movie that's already part of a universe. If this was connected to the MCU and they ruin the movie, that's different.
It's probably why it's not connected.
Well, it's not connected because Sony still is greedy, but, well, that's not even worth talking about. That's a whole different thing.
All right, so you're not interested about that Mobius, Jared Leto playing two characters.
I'm gonna watch it, but it also makes me wonder, like, is he leaving the DC universe? Like, is that the plan? Like, because we have the new Joker movie, he's supposedly gonna play, like, it doesn't count as him switching to the MCU, which is fine because it's not. It's Sony. It's, switching.
It's where actors go to die.
Yeah. I mean, but if the movie doesn't do well, then he still has the Joker.
Yeah.
Mobius is an interesting character. I never paid too much attention. He was never my favorite Spider-Man villain or anything. I think it's interesting. I think it'll be fun to see where it goes. I don't think the movie's going to do too great, but if it doesn't, then I guess if Venom doesn't do well, we have nothing to worry about.
Well, if Venom doesn't do well, they're selling it to Marvel.
In which case, they can make it better.
So, I think we cut it off here.
Yeah, let's end on that note.
It was a pretty good topic. Super psyched about all 3 of those movies. Those are the really big ones coming to San Diego Comic-Con at this point.
Only thing I could hope for more from Comic-Con would have been if they did some type of Marvel panel, but they did none.
Yeah, we can't even hope for Captain Marvel, though.
But they're busy.
I want some Captain Marvel!
They're busy. I don't blame them.
We'll catch you guys next time. Comment again. We'll give you guys shout-outs like we did.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at NerdPoint Show.
Me at R2Dylan.
Me at Mayhem_Ren. And we're going to catch you next time.